Bonjour. How's it all going? A little bit late on this one. How are we all doing, ladies and gents? Chuck this up on Twitter. Cool. Excellent. Hey, John. Hey, William. How are we all doing? Sorry, a little bit behind on this one, bit late. Not any major reason why. Really hectic day. I had to drop my truck off, so I couldn't get this one scheduled like I would normally do. So I dropped off the truck for its refurb work. We're moving you around. There we go. For its refurb works, it's gone now. Like the truck is completely gone. never to be seen again. Well, we'll see it again in a couple of months, probably a good few months to be fair. John Davies, did the truck drop off go well? It did. Yeah, it did go well. Very sort of set my mind at ease a lot when I was speaking to the guys now. Whereas before, like, they're a great shop, but they deal with American hot rods, and I was like, you know, they weren't interested in it because it's a Japanese car, but they agreed to do the work, but they still weren't interested in it. But I know now that the guy's brother really likes Datsuns because of Nick went to a car show. He spoke to a Datsun guy who Nick then said, "Oh, I've got a friend that has a Datsun." Then that Datsun guy said, "Oh, what is it?" Nick said, "Datsun 720. He said, "What's it got on it?" A turbo, blah, blah, blah. He said, "Oh, this guy, this other Datsun guy, knows about this truck because his brother is the shop owner of this shop." So I think that they've sort of hyped one another up a bit about the truck now. So hopefully it's sort of hyped him up a bit, I guess. I don't know. He seems more invested in the project now, whereas before he was like, "Yeah, we'll do it." But now he's like, "Oh yeah, we could do this and we could do this." He seems a bit more engaged, which is good. Very professional, FYI. Still very professional. Nice guy. Trust the work that he's doing, like 100%. But you know, it's not his thing. It's not his jam. He's a hot rodder, but still. Anyway, how we all doing? Thor's hammer is back. Yeah, it's back now. It's back in the corner. Did you catch possible the thing Prometheus reference at the end of the Tomorrow War? Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, 100%. Oh, it's cargo. He's going to go and, you know, kill planets. Oh, maybe to destroy planets. Blah blah blah. Did they just crash it? Yeah, I got the reference. I still liked it. I thought it was good. Midnight's Edges here. Some Viking money for some cause or other. Nice to have you on, dude. What are you not doing your stream? You normally do your stream still, don't you? Beard Cog. I normally just lurk in here, but just wanted to say that your channel has helped me enormously, especially going back through all your Hellraiser content. Cheers, mate. Takes my mind off everything. Well, good, Beard Cog. I'm happy about that. That's good. I'm glad. Hopefully it can, yeah, like that's all it is. You know, a bit of escapism. You know, we still do obviously all the news stuff. Like today's just been news, and then obviously this live hangout as well. I'm supposed to be getting a screener for Black Widow as well, so I'll be doing a review on that soon. But we're going predominantly much more back to the review-based stuff and the news stuff as well. And then these live streams to supplement it. And I really like doing these live streams actually at the end of a day rather than doing the live streams to cover the news. Because if you guys see the news and then come to the live stream, we have a little bit more to kind of converse and talk about. I think. I don't know. That's how I've sort of done it anyway. But anyway, I'm glad I went off on a tangent there. I'm glad that you have taken some escapism there. All right there. Miss H, my dude, I really hope your friend you went to see is all right. How did it go? Yeah, I mean, they're fine. Like, upset obviously because of their friend, but yeah, they're fine. By and large, they're fine. Finished an hour ago. Less in the news. Yeah, it's not been too much really. It's not been too much. I think the main thing about the news really was I don't know if you caught it, but how much Amazon paid Paramount for. Again, they paid Paramount for Tomorrow War. It's weird that they didn't just put it on Paramount Plus. But I think also that's probably inbuilt into the contracts of the actors and the financiers is that they needed money for it. Because if they didn't get any money for it, then they could have sued them, I think. I'm guessing, because otherwise why would Paramount have sold it rather than use it on Paramount Plus? Weird. But I thought that was an interesting bit of news anyway. The Secret Lab chair came in. My God, is that a heavy box? Can't build it until I get more supplies for the PC. Can't wait, and thanks for the recommendation. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Yeah. It is a big, heavy box. Well, medium. But yeah, no, it's yeah. Are you looking forward to Mega City 1 if it ever is in production? I assume that's what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, look, if it ever goes into production, definitely. A lot of people are referencing America Jara. That sort of hit the news recently. I think that hit on like Friday or Thursday, and people are like, "Oh, Dredd's not going to be the character in his own show." That was never going to be the case. Fuck's sake! Like, I interviewed them back in 2018, and they said that then. Come on, like, people are so fucking stupid. Seriously. Unreal. Everyone jumping on this bandwagon of Dredd's not going to be the main character in his own show. Just do some basic research. Like, watch the interview I did with them. I sat there like an hour and a half or some shit like that. Spoke to the producer and the owner. And they both said there, they literally both sat there, although that lead producer's gone now. Good friend of mine still. Good guy. But Jason Kingsley literally sat there and was like, yeah, no, like, it's about the city. It's about Mega City 1. Judge Dredd is like the headline, but it's Mega City 1. You know, we're using Judge Dredd to sell it. Yes, he'll be in the show. Yes, but it is Mega City 1. And they said that from the off. They said it from the off. So I don't know why it's a massive surprise. Like, does it suck? Yeah, of course. But people again keep thinking that it's a sequel to Dredd. It's not a sequel to Dredd. That was long been confirmed. I confirmed that again back in 3 years ago now when I interviewed them in 2018. But yeah, I mean, everyone jumps on the bandwagon of sort of grabbing some hatred. American Jara is not a bad character. It's not a bad character. Like, it seems to me that a lot of people that jump on the bandwagon of strong wham and blah wouldn't have read the comics anyway. Like, America Jara is like fine. Like, they could do something interesting with her. And actually, if you have a point of view character of America Jara and then have Judge Dredd on the peripheral that comes in and questions because of the past and things like this, that could actually be interesting. It's not an immediate red flag, let's put it that way. Midnight Sage, selling it to Amazon equals lots of money they desperately need, much more than new subs to Paramount Plus would bring them. Yeah, but no, because apparently they only bought it for 200 million. That is the whole budget. $200 million budget. So it's straight like 200 million, boom. It's strange. It is, it's strange. Seems to be almost sort of cancelling one another out, I guess. But that's what I mean. Like, maybe they just needed some finance to come back in and sort of, because it doesn't sound like they've made any money on it. I could be wrong, but it doesn't sound like it. People are saying get EVS on. I mean, he's busy. No, like, he's not. He's busy. I'm not just going to get him on. Like, that's not how it works. Yes, Friends Till Death. I streamed. Okay. Nice video on the Predator. Yeah, that was an interesting video. I set that one ready to go for the weekend about the potentially the court essentially giving Jim and John Thomas a bit of a blessing in disguise. So, yeah. After your vid, H rewatched Drive again, as it's a damn good movie, but also realised it led me to discovering Time Cop 1983, Small World, that we both like that band. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say Small World. I mean, if you like that sort of stuff, you'd inevitably like that kind of music as well. One would imagine, anyway. Tomorrow War was good, dumb fun. It was. Absolutely was good, dumb fun. What have I missed so far? Not much, Andy. Good to see you rocking the Sir Jasper of House H. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Love the channel and all of your content. Skull Knight, nice. Cheers, dude. Cheers. R.I.P. Richard Donner, yep. Midway point lagged a bit. Yeah. Gear change last quarter, ended up in Russia, was good. Aliens look better against the ice caps and snow. Yeah, there was some wonky CGI towards the end. By and large, pretty good, though. By and large, pretty good. Oh, shit. There's a runaway screwdriver. We will get Andre on for half an hour. He has offered to drop on, so we'll get Andre on for half an hour. Catch up with Andre. Let me just pop my earbuds in. So we shall have Andre un momento. Hasn't joined in for ages, actually. Let's see. So I haven't spoken to you for so long, man. I can't even find you on my Twitter. There you go. Found you. There you go, Andre. You can join now. We'll have you in. Un momento. Right, Mr. H, do you think Dan Trachtenberg will go for a more primitive-looking Predator if indeed Skulls comes to fruition? Well, Skulls is basically, like, it's ready to go now. I believe it is actually now shooting, if I remember rightly. As for primitive Predator, no. But they're primitive anyway, aren't they? So, no. No, probably not. Right, here we go. How you doing?
Greetings. How's it going? A long time no see.
It has been a long time. We've been doing.
Yeah. Nah, same as usual. Mostly busy building channel and creating content and streams and everything like that. So yeah,
I think busy. People thought we had a beef for a little while. I think that's what.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's the first I hear of it.
Well, no, because people were like, "Oh, you know, get Andre on," and I said, "Well, you know, you guys are busy with your channel." You know, and if I'm covering like reviews and things like that, it becomes quite difficult because I think I tend to watch a little bit more sort of movies than you guys do.
Yeah, I barely have any time for reviewing stuff. I've been paying attention to Loki. That's like the only thing. And also our streams, they run for so long. Like our morning shows on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. There was a time when we had the intention of them being like 1 hour, but more often than not, they go into like well over 3, sometimes past 4 hours. Well, that's beyond when you begin. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but yeah, no, I've no beef between us that I'm aware.
No, well, not from my side, not from my side. But you honestly, like, people misconstrue things. You say one thing and people are like, "Oh my god, it means blah blah blah." You're like, "No, it doesn't."
Yeah, no. Like, as soon as it's possible to go to the UK, which I miss because I love the UK, I look forward to buying you a pint.
Oh well, yeah. Likewise, we'll
not only that, hell, I'll bring you some Norwegian moonshine and other the local specialties.
Very nice. Well, I've still got some mead, so yeah, you'll enjoy that. So what's well, here we go then. What's your opinion on Loki? Because I think we'll probably differ on that, I would imagine.
I will say that of the 3 Disney Plus Marvel series thus far,
have you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier then?
I've saw bits and pieces of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen enough of it to form an opinion that I'm not going to invest the rest of my time in it. Yeah, but I've seen the whole of WandaVision. I've seen all I need to see of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that's like bits and pieces here throughout. And no more context isn't going to help a single thing. So of the 3, Loki is my favorite. That being said, it is not the series that we should have gotten, not by a long shot. And him singing a song in my language is not going to charm me enough.
Was it actually Norwegian then?
Yeah, it's actually Norwegian.
Oh, okay.
That was actually Norwegian.
Wow.
I can do a live translation of the whole song for you if you want, but yeah.
No, I was. Well, I'm always just curious if it was actually their language or they made something up. That was all.
No, cool. It's actual Norwegian. Over at Midnight's Edge After Dark, we actually did a translation video of it. So there we have the song cool. with first the lyrics in English and then the original Norwegian lyrics. So you can follow exactly what he's saying.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I just wish they had released the whole song, because actually like a 4-verse song that they say they're too unreleased. The only thing they've put out is like the one verse and the refrain over and over again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. There is an interesting question. Are you aware of Skulls by Dan Trachtenberg, the Predator 5 movie, or not?
Skulls by Dan Trachtenberg.
So basically, interesting question from Is this messing up? What the fuck is going on with this? Why is it not coming up on the screen? There we go. How do you think Dan will handle Skulls? Will it be all serious? Will he combine Apocalypto with Predator 1? Or will it be Mary Sue all the way through? So
this is the Predator movie taking place in the distant past, right?
In Calgary. Yeah, not that distant.
Yeah,
it's
not
that distant.
Before the modern age. It's like exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the furthest back they're going with it, basically.
Yes,
so Dan Trachtenberg's shooting it, beginning to shoot now. I believe it. Because they changed the dates. I keep thinking, they're shooting it or they're delaying it, but they're ready to go. Basically, they're in Calgary, Canada now, and they've got Amber Midthunder as the lead, who plays.
Yeah, I remember. Yes, I'm familiar with the existence of that.
Yeah, who plays like Key, a character called Key or something like that. A Comanche that goes against gender norms and all this nonsense.
Yeah, exactly. That was the key phrase. That was the key phrase that
we don't know. That's not an official release anyway, for starters. So it's a bit difficult to really take that too much, although it's not. It is a bit of a red flag. But the thing which I'm divided on with this is Dan Trachtenberg's really good at handling strong women. He's very good at handling a woman be, sort of fiercely independent in a movie and actually come out looking pretty good with it. So that's where I'm divided on it, really, with respect to Dan Trachtenberg, because everything else with respect to Skulls sounds absolute garbage. But Dan Trachtenberg isn't the red flag there. But I don't know what you think with respect to that.
I don't think that he's a red flag. I actually think the concept in principle sounds exciting. I mean, this is someone that doesn't have modern technology to help or anything like that. The only thing that had me was this whole shtick about fighting against the gender norms of her tribe. It's like, okay, that seems awfully contrived. But take that away, I'm excited.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, can it be worse than what we already got? Can it be worse than The Predator, which is one of the worst movies I've seen in modern history? Well, of course it can. It can always be worse.
It can be. The other red flag is that due to the current copyright lawsuit that's happening, is that we learned that it's due to be released on Hulu, not movies, which is that's a red flag straight away. But that's also playing devil's advocate, like I did when I did my report on it. That could be a benefit because smaller budget, bring it down, a bit more low key. Disney just chuck it on Hulu. Maybe people don't really care that much about it, so they're not being overseen by producers that much. Maybe he gets a bit more creative freedom.
I'm inclined to believe that would be a good thing. I mean, projects like that, like really the only chance that they have is that the budgets are so low that they don't really matter. As you say, it's not just producers, it's money people higher up. Then it's not that they don't care about that, but then they have other fish to fry, which are bigger and which demands more of their attention. So you can get away with more. You can actually do the incredible and make a decent movie out of the Disney system. That's like the only way it's going to happen is that way. Of course, there's no guarantee it's going to be good, but that way at least there's a chance.
Dan Tucker says that the actress... What is fucking StreamYard doing? It's just... Is it blanking out on your screen as well?
Yeah, it is. Every time you click it, it's blanking out.
The actress is short and weighs 110 pounds. The Predator is 7 foot and 300 pounds. No amount of writing makes this work. Yeah, I mean, inevitably. And look, the Predator is still super technologically advanced because it's on planet Earth and it's an alien. So it clearly flew here. Okay. So there needs to be some form of contrivance in the script, which means that it doesn't have its weaponry, or it chooses not to have its weaponry, maybe for honor's sake. We don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. But Dan Tucker raises a very interesting point.
I would like to counter that with one thing. If you think back to the original movie, Schwarzenegger is as big and as strong a man as they come physically. And physically, he is still no match for the Predator. I mean, he doesn't stand a chance in hand-to-hand combat against it. Exactly. It's a skill combined with dumb luck, and that is it. His physical strength really didn't come into it. You saw him, the Predator, waltz through like essentially the strongest men on the planet, like they were nothing. Physical strength doesn't matter, because no human on the face of the earth can match the Predator. The strength doesn't really matter, because no win Predator with strength. Going to win through some other ability or sheer dumb luck. Since this Native American woman is likely to be the Predator as Schwarzenegger, because physical strength doesn't the equation.
Yeah, well, he managed to lay the trap.
This is true. He was able to lift up that thing. Yeah, she wouldn't be able to do that. That's a point.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, your points are definitely valid. It'll be interesting to see how they go about it. But your points are 100% valid, to be fair. But I do think, I mean, Dan Tucker says his training. Fuck me with this fucking StreamYard. What is it doing? Fucking stream. Dan Tucker says, I'll just read it because not highlighting it. His training and dumb luck saved him with modern weapons as backup. Plus, he had 8 other badasses.
Yeah, none of them really helped in the end. In the end, the Predator walked right straight through them. The only thing that mattered in the end was Schwarzenegger and him covering up in mud. So a little bit of his training, a little bit of building traps, and actually it was like the counterweight that made the difference. So none of those other things and the modern weapons really mattered. It was his Rambo knife. That was the one weapon that really made a difference.
Yeah. Well, and his strength. It was his brute strength to lay.
It was his brute strength that was able to lift up the counterweight. This is true. Which
again, through dumb luck, was what. Yeah.
So if the Predator had gone the other way, that wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Have you? I'm going to say it, but I bet you haven't watched it. Bloody The Tomorrow War.
I have decided not to make it a priority because I've heard so much good and so much bad that
it's really decent. It's a big dumb summer blockbuster. Could have been made in the 90s, with along with just a dumb almost 90s early 2000s sort of film movie, but not in a bad way. It was just dumb fun. I had a good time with it. Yeah. Good time with it. Would recommend. I watched that trailer and I thought this is gonna be garbage.
Cool. Then I'll see it on your recommendation because we don't always agree, but if you like it, I know I'm definitely seeing something interesting. So I'll watch it based on your recommendation.
Yeah, I mean, let's say a lot of people's comments are like, well, they gave him it's a white lead, so they made everyone else black, and I'm like, oh, fine. I mean, they didn't, but okay, fine. Let's just take that on board. Maybe that is the case. But then they also had one of the black people say to Chris Pratt, the lead, "Oh, he's flipping us off about a black bold lady." And then Chris Pratt goes, "No, that's a she." And he goes, "Oh shit, sorry," and walks off. So there are jokes in there which are definitely not PC and are definitely not allowed.
Okay, this is a bigger reason now to actually watch the movie. So
do you see what I mean? Yeah. Because I think people are so honed in on that. Oh, it's fucking woke and fucking equality and they got their bloody quotas in there. And I'm like, well, even if they did, they still wrote in their comedic elements, which they're not strictly allowed to do in this day and age. They're not overly PC. That I was still surprised to see it, and it was funny. It was done in a really quite comedic way. So yeah, I mean, look, I enjoyed it. It is what it is. Like it's not an Oscar bait movie by any stretch of the imagination. And does it take elements from?
And these days and age, that's good, because if you look at the requirements for winning an Oscar, I mean, the best movies of all time wouldn't be able to win Oscars.
Sound, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you do? You know, have a blind person behind the camera. Fucking ridiculous.
And they're really inviting all kinds of like South Park stereotyping. Because did you read like the diversity criteria for Amazon movies going forward?
No, didn't check that out.
Oh my God, it's completely ridiculous. And it's like right away, like 1/3 of the, not just on screen, but even behind the scenes, one third has to be female and 1/3 has to be non-white. And on screen it's even worse. And then from 2024, listen to this, then there are also like requirements that so-and-so, that there has to be speaking characters for someone that is gender fluent or gender fluid and not white and minority and disabled and deviant mentally. So basically what they're saying is that you can invent the most outrageous character, have like a black lesbian in a wheelchair that has Asperger's, and give that person a speaking role, then you're fine. So they're like literally asking for parodies.
Good Lord. Andy McCallum just dropped in real quick, says Doomcock is the golden age variant of Doctor Doom for £2. Thank you so much. Just as a quick heads up, guys, if you do want to support the channel, get your question either to Andre, to myself, just a comment, you want to join in the conversation. Super chats are a very, very good way of doing it. You don't have to. I am still looking at the chat. I'm literally just about to read out another chat here, which was not a super chat, from Spooky Mulder, who again joins in the conversation with a very interesting point, and one which I would agree with. He says, you got to stop caring about that stuff. If you like a movie, you like it. Forget about the politics and the social checklists. You'll go mad before your time. I agree, and that's what I've done recently. I've just stopped. I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. But I think that that's unfortunately what a lot of people did going into the Tomorrow War, and it's almost like a form of projection now. You know, but I get it. Like, I get why that's come to, you know, that why that has happened. But yeah, like you're also not seeing the other things. And some of the comments as well, people were like, "Oh, there's so many plot holes. You know, they didn't explain this," or "Oh, they beamed people into the future in a different location." It's like, okay, you're so hell-bent on hating the movie that you didn't even listen to the dialogue that actually explains the point that you're referencing as an issue. There was dialogue that actually explained why that happened. There's all these things that people keep missing, and then they go, "Well, it's fucking dog shit because of this," and you're like, you didn't watch the movie. Like, it actually says why that happened. It actually says why this happened. You know, so silly, so silly.
And to quickly answer another question that I saw earlier in the chat here, I think it's gone from the screen now, but someone asked about the Norwegian song in Loki. If that if that was a classic Norwegian folk song. The answer of that is yes and no at the same time. It is not a classic in that it's an old song. It's actually written for the series, so it's brand new, and it's 4 verses, as I said. But no one has heard the other verses, because the only thing we've heard is the one verse that's in the episodes. But it's a folk song in the sense that it has been written by 2 prominent modern-day folk song lyricists, including the lyrics and even the music. The violin is even played with a Norwegian hardingfele, so it might as well have been classic, but it's completely brand new.
Well, that's interesting. I wonder if they will release it then come the end or the close of Loki. There's only a few more episodes. Only 2 more.
Yeah, the soundtrack is to be released in 2 parts, and what we were told, what like the lyricist who wrote the song said, is that the full song would be on the soundtrack. This is what he had been told. But I guess they must have lied, because the soundtrack for the first part of the series is already released, and it's there, and it's just a segment that we heard in the series. It's literally that. So I think that that's probably all that's been recorded, and if we are ever to hear the full song, it's going to be another version that they have recorded. I don't think we'll have the full version that Tom Hiddleston sang.
Yeah. Just real quick, Shane White says we only got 70 likes. Guys, smash that like button.
Yes, do smash it,
ladies and gentlemen. This is fucking StreamYard today. What is it doing? I can't highlight comments. Basically, PKL Entertainment says, and I do want to pick your brains on this, second He-Man trailer. I'll give you my thoughts straight from the off.
Yeah, go for it.
Shit trailer. The first one was amazing. I loved the first trailer. Second one was garbage. I was like, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not as hyped now because it's sort of, I don't know, like it just, that first one was amazing. It was so good. And then this one, I'm like, all right, whatever. Like it didn't get me going like the first one did. And I get it. I get why, the first one was a montage with music, but it worked. This one was a bit of a story, but not. So I think they failed at this second trailer. But what do you think?
I agree with you completely. That first trailer was the best trailer I've seen in ages.
Amazing.
It was
amazing.
Perfect music.
So good.
Music. It was so good. So good. I just loved it. I can watch that thing on repeat in the background all day.
Yeah.
The second trailer, this one only went to confirm all the fears and the worries and everything like that. That it's going to be a Tila show, and not only is it going to be a Tila show, it's going to be a Butch Tila show. I don't know.
I'm going to say straight from the off, I do have an issue with that, right? I get it. People have an issue with the side cut hair, right? I get that. It's a trope. It's a bit of a Karen trope. But if you look at how masculine the women have gotten, it's actually in conjunction with how masculine the men have become as well. If you look at how big fucking He-Man is by comparison to how he used to be in the first show, they've actually sized everyone up appropriately. And I do have a real issue when people go, oh, that she's too butch. I'm like, but don't you want her to look like she can do the things that she does? And actually, again, by comparison, if you look at the original He-Man, he wasn't that big. He wasn't that big at all. You look at him now, he's fucking stacked.
Yeah, they got all of
them. So you tell me that have they actually appropriately sized everyone up in conjunction with one another? Because I genuinely think that they have. And I think to pick out just that the women have been sized up and they're butch now completely negates the fact that they've sized up that fucking He-Man is... Like, he looks like he's been juicing for the last 100 years. He's fucking huge.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because here's like the thing. What I think happened is that for making this, they decided that everyone is going to get juiced up. Everyone is going to get sugar injections. Everyone is going to get testosterone injections. Everyone is going to get all kinds of steroids and some more testosterone on top of that. And then they gave the exact same doses of testosterone to the women and to the men. So everyone has been equally juiced, but with equally much male hormones. Because that's kind of what it looks like. Because that's male muscle on many of those women. Yeah, I get it. It looks like they're going to hold their own in a fight, but at the same time, it looks a little bit like the East German Olympics team, doesn't it?
I guess, but honestly, like that first shot of Tila with the long hair, and yeah, she looks butch, but she's stacked. But it's the hair that butchers her up.
Exactly, that's thing. It's a combination.
So that's why I said I understand the hair, but I don't understand when people are like, "Oh, well, she's too big." I'm like, yeah, but everyone's too big.
Exactly, it's
like,
a combination.
She's actually as big as she should be in the universe.
Yeah,
as big as everyone else is currently.
If you look at Evelyn, she has the exact same muscle, but you don't have the same amounts of complaints because it kind of like works because they haven't given her like the
they haven't emasculate. They haven't, made her more masculine via a haircut. But yeah, I don't. With respect to the concern and people, things like that, I don't know. I don't know what I think. I don't know what I think it confirms, really. In terms
I
of
hope I will say
and things like this, because if you look at it, there's definitely two different time periods. Probably one at the start, then moving forwards.
Yeah.
But Evil Lynn's also working with them as well.
Yeah, I don't mind that, really. I still have hopes, because this is one thing that I really, really want to be good. You remember in the 2002 series how you had one episode developing the distant past with King Grayskull, who the power of Grayskull really came from. That's whose name they were invoking. What I've recently learned is that King Grayskull is in this series too. The ancestor of He-Man. Yeah, he's a black man.
Oh. Not sure how that works, but all right.
Yeah, so they race bent King Grayskull to become a black man.
Well, would they be changing his origin as well? Maybe, because they could be doing that.
I don't know. I don't know in details, but it recently emerged that King Grayskull is going to be black. Further details, don't know.
Well, I mean, look, I don't have a massive issue with that. Like, that's kind of a wait and see, because they may just be changing the complete origin anyway. Yeah, I don't have a massive issue with that, to be fair. I think, like, and as well, I've never had a massive issue with the concept of it being about Teela, if Teela is the point of view character, but the narrative structure is about He-Man, because He-Man's not being sidelined at that point.
Yeah, that works.
You just have Teela being the point of view character. Yeah. Teela was always a really important character anyway. She was a massively important character.
Yeah,
because
her story.
They're so fucking pepped up on wham and wham and wham, and it's like, no, hold on, go back and watch the original. Teela was a very important character. She was very important,
and they are really fulfilling a story that was started and never concluded. Yeah. This is true. So yeah. But then it's a matter of the execution, and I just hope I hope it's going to be good, because this series
was by Kevin Smith.
Means a lot to me.
It's by Kevin Smith, and I keep, like I said in my trailer review of it, because someone was like, "Oh, you're burying your head in the sand." I'm not. Like, I'll literally sit there in this video and say it's by Kevin Smith. He'll probably Kevin Smith it. I'm very much open to the idea that it's going to be garbage, but I'm also open to the idea of it potentially being good. That's objective. That's not being biased or burying your head in the sand. It's going, well, yeah, here's the facts. It's by Kevin Smith, and here's some of this. Yeah. But also, hey, let's wait and see. Let's have some air of positivity.
Yeah.
I want it to be good, because I do want it to be good.
I don't want there to be a He-Man revival that I have wanted for the last 20 years without it being good. I mean, I can live with Star Wars being crap and Star Trek being crap, but that's all fine. I don't mind that. I mean, I can sacrifice those, but He-Man is special to me.
Yeah, and likewise. Like, I want Sword and Sorcery to make a bloody return, for starters. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Luke Fremlin chimes in and says, I wasn't too keen on the new trailer. The first was epic, bombastic, and fun. And personally, I agree with you, Mr. H, on the females. It's better if they look like they can do what they're going to be doing. Yeah, I agree. And all the same people that go, oh, fucking strong wham and this and fucking strong wham and that, will be the same individuals that go, oh, how's a tiny little 100-pound woman do this? It's like, fuck me, you cannot be pleased. Like, there's just no pleasing you at any point. Like, there just isn't. You make them look muscular, people are like, oh, they look like a tranny. And then you make them look small, and they're like, oh, they can't do that. Why are they doing that? It's like, fucking just grow up, mate. At a certain point, you need to realize you are the problem, right? Like, come on. Like, you just cannot be pleased at that point. God.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, because many people have gotten, like, hypersensitive. And I can understand that. I
can as well. But I also do think people need to be deconditioned from it. And I'm actually told sometimes, just hold on. Can you not see the thread here that seems to be running around? God. Dear, oh dear. Never mind. Gina Carano looks like a badass because she is. Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Yeah. And I remember also, you remember this because you were on the Midnight's Edge stream and we were talking about the first episode where Gina Carano's Cara Dune first came
everyone hated it.
DeLorean. And we were like one of the first people that were like saying that no, because
me and you were all for it. Everyone else,
we were all for it. We were all for it. No, she's badass. She deserves everything.
I couldn't believe that. I honestly, and isn't it funny how the tables have turned? Now everyone's like, "Oh yeah, she's a badass." Yeah.
But that only goes to show that it was the same thing there. People have been damaged so much, which is very fair, that you have like this instant reaction, and then you have to see it for yourself, and then eventually come to realize, oh yeah, no, this isn't a Mary Sue. She's really badass, and she really deserves it.
Yeah.
And I hope we are going to see that that's exactly the same thing here. That is my hope.
So do I. But I am very much open to it being Kevin Smith. This is what, because people are like, oh, why do we have to accept it? Ugh. And Eric here
even
says,
Kevin Smith said that though. He said that like in the first presentation. He was like, well, maybe I'll mess it up. I mean, I am after all the guy who did Yoga Hosers.
Yeah. There you go then. Oh dear, oh dear. We will see. We will see. We will see.
But yeah, it was funny with that Cara Dune thing. How it was the two of us. I do believe we were the first to say that this ain't no Mary Sue. This is
we defended it again. We defended it from Tom and Rob. That was what it was on that. On that stream. Vestigo says you've been conditioned into gradually accepting the usurpation and inversion of every IP you grew up with, castigating anyone with criticism of that hijacking of being immature. That's bullshit. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. So, don't put words in my mouth. Secondly,
I hope that what he meant was you as in general people and not you in particular.
No, this individual's already addressed me already. So I do believe he's actually addressing me again. It's not what was said. That's not what was said at all. Very, very strange thing to take from what's been said there. So no, not at all.
Well, in that case, Vestigo, what you are doing is it's pretty nasty.
KA, I can't highlight your your comment, Cam.
It is highlighted. It was highlighted. Screen, now it is. It is for on mine.
Oh, okay, fine. Have you seen Hardware? If not, I think you would enjoy it. Based on a 2000 AD comic, Shock, directed by Richard Stanley, low budget British flick from the 90s. I believe I have. I'll have to Google it just to have a look at the picture. I watched so many movies, so.
No, I have it right here in my Blu-ray shelf. It's awesome.
I believe I have. Because isn't this what he did, and then he went off to do the Island of Dr. Moreau, but then he didn't do it.
Apart from his cameo appearance in the background as an extra.
Just because he's hanging around. Yes, no, I have. I have. Yeah, it's good.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's really cool.
Sorry, I have to refresh with images every now and then sometimes, because otherwise it's straight over.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another interesting thing to pick your brains about. Alien. What did you think about the statements from Noah Hawley?
I did a video about it. I think I hope that he is going to deliver the Alien series that we all want. Based on his comments, I don't think he's going to. I have two major issues. One was that stupid thing he said about what Alien is about. Is humans being trapped between our parasitic past and the killer AIs in our future, and those are trying to kill us.
That killer AI, that thing, that's a reference more to the newer. Yeah, it's a reference more to the newer stuff than it is anything else. Which was
and why the hell did he want to be inspired by that?
Well, it doesn't even need to now because it's under new management with Disney. So it did seem very odd. I get the comments on capitalism and things like that. The company was always a massive, a big threat. But his comments were very much from a socialist sort of slant, which was a bit concerning. When he's talking about, I can't. Well, I'd have to get the quote up to be perfect.
Well, actually, I do remember the quote, and I agree that it's very disconcerting for two reasons. One is that it's meant to sound socialist. It's meant to sound socialist. But in actual reality, it's pure communist, because what he says is that, this is a warning of what can happen in the future if you don't adopt it. And that's really rubbed me the wrong way, because
that was odd. It was really odd.
But that wording is key wording, because whenever someone says "we as a society," they mean you, the pleb. Then you are the one that's being held responsible and accountable. And then that's part of a larger narrative of how you need to be ashamed and you need to do better. Not politicians, not huge corporations, but you, the individual who can do nothing, you who live from paycheck to paycheck, you are expected to make this better.
Yeah.
That really rubs me the wrong way.
Well, it's also just so out of place. Like, with respect to what they're talking about as well. Like, it's not, I did not like that.
And I want to say one more thing also about this quote about being trapped between our AI future, which is completely ridiculous, and then the parasitic past. Then I wonder, what the fuck is he smoking? Humanity doesn't have a parasitic past. Yeah, there's been parasites that we've been dealing with to this day and everything.
Well, again, he is probably referencing it based on his further comments moving on from that statement. He probably is referencing, I don't know, capitalistic structures or governmental figures, war, famine, strife, those kind of things, I would imagine.
I would certainly hope so, because the only alternative is in terms of evolution and back to when humans were parasites. And there's, I don't know, 1,000 different species on the evolutionary tree between what we are now and the primordial sludge when there was some kind of parasite in there.
Yeah. I don't think he's right. I think he's being more philosophical.
I seriously hope so. But even so, it's like pseudo philosophical.
Yeah,
because again, that's taking on a really deceptive, manipulative, communist slant.
Yeah. No, I agree. And that's what I said in my video.
And in terms of like exploiting people and stuff like that, if he thinks that that's a unique feature to capitalism, that there's been no exploitation in the history of communist states, I take him to invite him to take a look at gulags and stuff like that in history, and see how the Soviet, for instance, were able to get their productions up and running. China, anywhere else is going to try.
Look at China now.
Yeah, I mean,
Uyghur internment camps. I mean, Christ.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all there. People abusing other people. Real quick, Ellie Moses dropped in and says, "Hail the OGs of the round table. Here is some Australian Lebanese money for the cause." Thank you so much.
Oh, nice.
Ellie. And we got another one from Keith William Wendorf. Says, "I agree, Andre. Let us common man who get the crap when it's actually people and organizations higher up with more power who should be starters." Again, just kind of referencing all again, talking about the plebs and stuff like that. I mean, it's difficult to really disagree with it, to be fair. Again, but Noah Hawley's good. It's weird that he would say these kind of things because he is good. Like, he makes good shows. So it's concerning that he says that, because then when you turn around and you look at what he's done, you're like, oh, but he's pretty good though. So
well, maybe he's been influenced by Bad Robot, because he's been hanging with those for the last few years, trying to get Star Trek 4 off the ground. That was going to be wokier than woke. His take on that. So maybe they infected him with the virus there. I don't know.
Yeah. So bloody weird.
Yeah.
So strange.
And I agree. I just want to say I agree with John Davis. Everyone, the likes are only at 126, so smash that like button. Show him his boss.
Please do.
And share the stream and everything.
Yeah, sharing actually helps a lot more than you guys know, because, well, you guys would know. It doesn't send notifications out, so you probably wouldn't have been notified that I was streaming. I did this one quickly on the fly because I was busy today. So I couldn't schedule this one, so I had to do this one real quick. But it doesn't. If I schedule a stream, it likes to send notifications out a little bit better.
Yeah, I had to check. I didn't see you were streaming. I had to go into the channel and see. Wait, shouldn't my friend Mr. H be on right now?
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass. I do try and I did tweet it out. I always tweet them out, but yeah, it's pretty garbage for for sending notifications out. But I dropped my truck off today at the garage for all the fabrication work that's happening on it. So that was a pretty massive chunk of my day. Do you know about my pickup truck that I've got?
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's gone now for months. Like I won't see it now for like 4 months, if that. 4 months worth of work.
But the joy of seeing it again is going to be awesome when you do, won't it?
Yeah. Well, it will. Yeah. Hopefully. Hopefully we will see. I will just say real quick, guys. We've got a fair amount of members here. You should have all received an email across the weekend. Not necessarily all members, but I know a lot of the members here would have purchased Black Fields. If you did purchase Black Fields, you should have received an email across the weekend. Friday. It was on Friday. If you didn't get an email, then check your junk email box, because it probably would have gone there. But basically, you have a special first dibs on my second Blu-ray. Because obviously when I say, it is limited edition and it's limited supply, it is. You've seen that now from Blackfields. They are actually limited supply. So I sent you guys first dibs, basically. People who are existing customers, people who had chosen to purchase and hopefully enjoyed the Blu-ray of Blackfields. You now have first dibs on Breaking Lights, because again, it's a limited supply. I thought I would give you guys first access rather than announcing that it was on sale. And it's actually password protected as well. So the page is password protected. So if you didn't receive the email, you can't actually access it. Because there's a password which is in the email. Because I thought I'd make it very exclusive for you all, which I thought was a pretty cool way of doing it. Password protected page. Keith says, yep, and pre-ordered my Breaking Lights. Perfect. Well, I do appreciate that, dude. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I just thought I'd say that just from the off, because I just thought I would, just to clarify, because again, you send these things out and you never know whether it, I don't know, dips into people's bloody junk boxes and all that kind of crap. Such a pain in the ass. Emails are not fun. So what is new with you anyway, Andre, outside of doing the streams and the sort of few scripted videos that you guys have done? What else is new? How's Midnight's Edge Espanol?
Well, it's going slow, but it's chugging forward because like the algorithm does absolutely nothing to help when you have less than 1,000 subscribers. And last I checked, it was at 500. So it's growing slowly and steadily, but you're like trying to cater to a whole new audience and everything like that. So it's going slowly ahead, and we have like live shows there every Tuesday and Thursday. They've gotten really good. So the crew there are really doing amazing. Actually, I'll be hosting it myself tomorrow because Paulie is on vacation with Mrs. Lant, so I'll be hosting it tomorrow. So I think it's going to be really awesome once it gets monetized, and then YouTube starts helping to promote it to actual Spanish speaking audience. Because right now there is some overlap, but it's not a huge overlap. So it's like easier to launch, like for instance, a live archive channel than one aimed for a whole different audience. But I think we'll get there. So going slow, but chugging forward.
Good. Yeah. Nice. No, that sounds
and
cool.
Now when that one is starting to be like more self-reliant, we can get back to more scripted content as well. Because like 3 live shows a week and supporting Espanol and all of that, plus 2 streams on After Dark and everything, is like it's only so many hours in the day.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And the scripted videos are the ones that take the most work.
Yeah, no, I get that too. Completely. Yeah, there is only so much you can do. Oh, well, that's good though. I'm glad it's sort of plodding along anyway, at the very least. How I would have thought if you'd promoted it to your main audience, there'd be a lot of Spanish people in there, I would have thought.
So we keep on promoting it, and so it's going to be fine.
Okay, well, good. Good. What's this? Black Summer Season 2 is amazing. Rose is how you make a believable, strong female lead. A lot of people are banging on about this Black Summer. I think it was Dan that actually said that Black Summer Season 1, not that important. You can just jump into Season 2, apparently. So, interesting.
Yeah, that's kind of like you tried with Star Trek Discovery. That was fun.
Oh, fuck that, honestly. Fuck that noise. Did you watch the trailer for that? Because I watched the trailer for the new Picard Season 2. I couldn't be bothered. I didn't want to do a video on it because you can't, because they copyright block them. I was like, it's not worth my time.
Yeah.
But what a load of shit that was.
Yeah.
He's once again out there saving the day, and I'm like, it's not believable. You sound like you're about to die.
No, once again, it is them retconning the previous season and the next one. A proud tradition from Secret Hideout Star Trek that each season that they bring out is such a complete and unmitigated disaster that the next season has to retcon it. And then the next season is a complete and utter disaster too. That too has to be retconned. And that's their way of doing things. So yeah, I saw it, and I'm not going to say I was like disappointed, horrified. I was like, yeah, fine, exactly as expected, exactly the disaster that we fully expected to be.
Yeah, but even like bloody Q turning up, I'm like, I don't care about Q. This is not going to save the show.
The only way it can possibly save the show is for him saying that, you know what, everything that's been going on in both the Discovery and in Picard, it was all a nightmare. It was all a Q-induced nightmare, and now he's going to snap his fingers and show how bad things can be now back to reality. They're never going to do that, but that's the only freaking way that it can solve anything.
Oh my god! Honestly, it's such garbage. I don't think it's going to be any good. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I mean, the first season was garbage, so I'm sure the second one will be as well.
Yeah, I see no reason why it wouldn't be.
No. Valiant Renegade drops in and says, "Hail, Mr. H and Andre. I always seem to miss the members stream pop-ins, but it's always a particular joy to see you two having an engaging and entertaining dialogue together." Yeah, well, again, yeah, just, as I said when Andre dropped on, people seem to think we've had some beef, but both just been busy. You've been busy, I've been busy, and always happy to drop on and chit-chat whenever we actually can, whenever there's a crossover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of us actually being able to. So, yeah, but I'm glad people enjoy it as well, for sure, because they're not, obviously it's a bit different to my normal streams where I engage a little bit more with the audience and things like that. But you can still engage with me, guys. You can. I am still reading the chat, but if you want it answered immediately, super chat's a good way to do it. Keith says, "Are they just sucking the blood out of the franchise of Picard?" I think they're more than that. They're literally wringing him out. He's just like a wet flannel at the moment.
Yeah, there's no more blood left.
Wringing it out.
Yeah, at this point, it's like a matter of like sodomizing the corpse, I guess, because there's no more vitality to bring out of it.
It's so bad. So bad. Not good. Not good. Side note, I'm going on Lorena Creole. What's her name? I can't remember her name.
Yeah, Lorena Creole. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, I'm going on her stream.
Oh, she's awesome.
Evening.
Yeah, she's so awesome. So I didn't.
At this time tomorrow, ladies and gents, I am on, what's her name? Lorena Creole.
Lorena Creole. Yeah, Lorena Creole.
That is where I am. I'm streaming over there on her channel. I'm a guest. You guys keep asking me to do collaborations. There you go. Not on my channel though. I'm collaborating with her over on hers. So this time tomorrow, it is at this time tomorrow. Lorena Creole, head on over there. Join me for that stream. We don't have a specific topic yet. She says she's going to get one either tomorrow or just literally just chit chat and stuff, which would be quite interesting, really, because especially if it's someone I've never spoken to before, I try to actually keep the conversation to a minimum before I jump onto a stream. So there's actually more conversation to go with, to be fair. So I think it'll be interesting. I think that'd be quite.
She's so good. Like she's one of our regular co-workers. She's on Toxic Femininity.
So that's
every single Monday.
Yeah,
we try to have her on our morning streams every chance we get. But of course, she has another job, so it doesn't always work out. But yeah, no, she's really, really good. So everyone check in for that. That should be a really good stream.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It'd just be good time. Chinwag, someone new. Because people are like, oh, you need to, collaborate. And I'm like, I'm happy to, just odd times, when me and you both more aware than this than other people. But it's harder to collaborate with the majority of the YouTuber base because they're American and the time zones just don't line up unless you want to be awake all bloody night. Like, you just can't do it all the time because otherwise you just don't sleep.
No, that's part of the reason why like we started the morning shows, because that way it's like that's like a decent compromise between my time in Europe and most of everyone else's time in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
And like we are just an hour apart, so for us it's easy enough.
Yeah. For me and you to hop on and chit chat is easier. Mixed Blood says, have you seen The Guest? I have. As a similar soundtrack to Driver, it's a great movie in my opinion. Would like to hear your thoughts on Andre too. Have you seen The Guest? Let me double check.
I don't think I have. It sounds like a horror. Is it?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. What have I seen then?
The Guest. I have to check that.
What have I seen?
The Guest. That looks like a full title for a movie.
What is the film that I've seen?
Is it from what year? Because there's like so many movies that are called that. Not the one from 2014, surely.
I think that's what they're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that one ages ago.
I haven't. I'm trying to think of what.
If it's the one with Dan Stevens, like the Downton Abbey guy, who never should have quit that show because his movie career never really took off. If it's that one, I've seen it. I thought it was okay. It's something that my wife made me watch.
I was thinking of The Invitation, not The Guest. Fuck's sake! I've not seen The Guest. I've seen The Invitation instead. Sorry, The Invitation's really good. Watch The Invitation. That's an interesting film.
Yeah. No, I thought it was okay. I don't recall any details because it's been such a long time since I saw it. I saw it when it was new, and that's like now 7 years ago. But I remember thinking this is okay. Like nothing earth-shattering.
Okay.
I would have much rather seen something else, but it was okay. It was all right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Pete Den Cat says, "Hey, Big H, Andre, and chat. I needed a breather from Gary. He was getting a bit too much. Gotta love him though. Hope you're all okay. Oh well, thank you. Appreciate that." And then Keith drops in and says, "The whole Star Trek franchise now cash grabs. Picard season 1 or 2 or 3 DVDs. Second choice for me. Star Wars has become the same cash grab. Yeah, I mean they are all cash grabs in general. Like they all are. They're a business at the end of the day, but it's when you can align a good narrative, to your audience to then get them to do it naturally, to then reap the benefits of the financial rewards. That's when it's good. These people just seem to hate the audience and thus don't really align the narrative with the audience's likes and dislikes, which is beyond me. I don't really understand why.
So to the extent of which it's a cash to grab, it's a very poor one because no one wants to pay for it. As evidenced by the complete and total lack of any merchandise sales.
Yeah, no, completely. John Davies actually has said, this is the link, by the way, guys. This is the link to the reminder of Lorraine Creole's stream that I'm on. I chucked it up on Twitter and I'll tweet it out again and I will probably drop it in the community tab.
It's Lorena Creole. Lorena.
There you go. Got it. Lorena. Okay, but I'll butcher that, but never mind. We'll get there in the end.
Well, I'm sure she'll correct you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't even know why she invited me on, to be honest. Like, I'm not like, I don't know.
No, but she's really, really awesome. So you're in for a good time, and she'll have a great conversation with everyone. So yeah, I can't recommend her highly enough.
Good. Yeah, I've been meaning to drop on and chit chat with Nina Infinity as well.
Yeah, she's also cool.
She does interesting streams. So she said she wanted to have me on, which again, more than happy to. Just when it's not like 2 a.m. or 3, 4, 5 a.m. That'd be great.
Well, just tell her as soon as she wakes up. She typically wakes up around like an hour or two ago from now, like just as we are ending our morning streams. That's
that could work.
So yeah,
that could work. I don't know whether her audience would be awake though, but unless she came on here, it's true. That could work. What's this? Warning on the Green Inferno. It starts slow. That's the Green Inferno.
Oh, that's a horror movie. It's from Eli Roth. It's like like those 70s exploitation films taking place with cannibals in the jungles and stuff like that. This is the modern day version of that. As far as tribute movies to that goes, this one is actually pretty good. Okay. So if you fancy a modern day movie with some of the exploitation qualities of the proper 70s movies, like Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox and others that simply you couldn't make today. If you want the modern day equivalent of that, the Green Inferno is as close as it's going to get. It's not for everyone, of course, but yeah, for modern day Cannibal Ferox, not bad at all.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Andy says, I think Jessie is planning to do a stream review at some point. Yeah, she sent me a DM on Twitter about it. Again, more than happy to. I think she had to rearrange the time. Again, it's all timing. But yeah, happy to do that. That is something which has been discussed as well. Flash 29 says the Super Deep's pacing did suck donkey dick, but oh my god, those creature effects. Yeah, man. Have you heard about this?
Is that a Russian movie?
Yes, mate. Super Deep. So good.
Okay, cool. I'll be sure to check it out because that actually has my interest. The Russians have been making some really cool movies the last few years.
They have been smashing it.
Yeah, especially their historical dramas have been amazing. I mean, their movies about Kalashnikov and the making of him, but especially also their space movies on Gagarin and the First Man to the... Oh, yeah. That looks amazing. Yeah, and the Russians, they know how to dig deep holes. So...
Well, yeah. But this is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing.
Okay, this is a movie I can't wait to see. I was only made aware of its existence in the last couple of days, but this one I'm definitely watching.
You need to be warned, though. Pacing is bad. Like, it has bad pacing.
Oh, you can't have everything.
No, but the thing is, I think you will appreciate it. I think you'll still appreciate it like I did. Like, I watched it and I was like, look, it's got its problems, but I still, I wanted to like it. And I did I liked a lot of it. But it still has its problems, like you acknowledge the problems and you go, yeah, but it's still good. Like it's still good, but it still has problems.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And that's kind of like fine because here's like the thing that the moment that the movie is perfect for you and it's like, yes, this is exactly the movie I wanted, then it's not going to be perfect for someone else. So there's a little bit of like personal preference in that as well. But in general, the Russians, I think that many Russians movies have that a little bit with pacing.
Even
that may be
a bit like that.
That may be a cultural thing, I think also.
That's what I said. I did say that in my review. I don't know whether it is cultural. I don't know whether...
I think there's a cultural component to it because again we have like a certain kind of sensibilities.
Yep. And we want things to be done in a certain way with the pacing and the structure. Get it done.
Exactly. But again, that's from an extremely Western point of view. If you look at plenty foreign movies and you kind of like average out the movies from any one given territory, you'll find that the same basic rules apply, but there's going to be local differences. And pacing is a big one of them.
Yeah. No, 100%. Completely agree with that. Keith has said, hey, H the Butcherer, not a word of names. I do butcher names. I am sorry. I am forever butchering names. You can call me the carver.
We all do, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, I always acknowledge it. I just hang a lantern. Yeah, fuck that one up, Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, so I would recommend it. Definitely has its problems, but still worth a watch. Just for the creature effects alone. Creature effects are amazing. Absolutely mind-blowing. Long film, though. It's like, I think, if I remember right, it was like 2.5 hours, which doesn't sound... Or 2 hours, 18 minutes. I think. Or maybe that... No, what was it? What was the super deep... maybe I'm getting that confused with the Tomorrow War. Super deep runtime. Oh, no, it's 2 hours. But it's a long 2 hours. It feels long. Because they... Yeah, I won't spoil it. Watch it and report back. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. Slow-paced movie with a long running time. Yeah, that's going to drag forever. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yay, Andre has seen the Green Inferno. I caught it by chance, but bought the Blu-ray cheap. Suggested it to you, H, just for the irony, dark humor. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to watch it for sure. I mean, you recommend it as well, Andre?
Well, I recommend it for what it is, a modern take on Cannibal Holocaust and movies like that.
Yeah.
As a completely standalone, watch this and you'll have a great time. No. But for the kind of movie it is, yes.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's that's worthwhile.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of same thing as like Psycho Gorman and stuff like that. You have to be in the mode for the kind of movie that it is.
Yeah.
Once you're prepared for that, then I recommend it. Whereas if you're not so much.
Yeah, that's a great example, because if you weren't honed in for Psycho Gorman, you'd watch it and go, "This is fucking garbage. What have I gotten myself in for?"
Exactly. Yeah.
But if you know what it is and you're primed, ready for it, you'd be like, "Yeah, no, okay, this is a good."
This is exactly the same thing. It's like there's no laugh in there, but you have to be primed for modern day Cannibal Ferox and Cannibal Holocaust. Okay. Once you're primed for that, it's a good movie. Okay. If you're not, it's not going to work out.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I like that as a comparison. That's pretty good. Good, nice. What's this? With everyone yelling everything is woke, even when I'm watching something from the 90s, sometimes I catch myself thinking this is getting woke when it's not. People yelling that all the time affects you. Yeah, I'll agree with that. This is what I mean, like that sort of conditioning. People have been conditioned to do it, as well as conditioning others to do it as well. You know, like some people, you introduce like some 18-year-old to Terminator now, they would probably think Terminator 2 was a little bit woke. Like genuinely, you know, strong female, busting her ass, doing chin-ups, has a quick freak out monologue about men that can't procreate and men just want to burn the world down. People would probably think that's a bit woke, and that's fucking far from woke. But they would think it.
Yeah, and again, you can't really blame them, because there's been like so much over the head. But at the same time, then it's like important that you take like one step back and you assess, is this really what's going on, or is there something else here? Like, not everything is an attempt at subversion. In the case of Terminator 2, for instance, no, that wasn't woke. That wasn't a Mary Sue. That was genuinely strong woman. And you have to see the change from Terminator 1 to Terminator 2 to truly appreciate what's like trauma and waking up. Exactly. Same thing. Yeah. It's a matter of like, don't get caught up. Don't get too caught up with it.
Yeah.
Be sound at all times.
Yeah, you just got to think. You just got to think a bit objectively, I guess. That's kind of why I've just stopped addressing it all half the time. Like, I saw this thing about America Jara with the Judge Dredd thing, and I was like, I don't even fucking want to talk about it. There's no point, because it's just being drowned out by everyone else going, strong woman. I'm like, mate, if you just did any basic research, you'd see it wasn't a Dredd sequel, and Dredd was never going to be the main character. They said that 3 years ago. Yeah. 3 years ago they said that.
They did. And massive kudos to you, because when people had been watching you, they would have known that, this was always the intention. And in
always the plan.
Yeah. And in my personal estimation, I think that plan is fundamentally flawed. And that's a big reason why they haven't got it to work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But again, they want to handle it all in house, is what it is. But I whatever, sure. I think they'll struggle to get a distributor for it as well. In fairness, based on everything, they can make it, they can produce it, but are they going to get anyone to pick it up, buy it? Probably not.
Not when they're doing the fundamentally wrong series. Because here's like the thing: under normal circumstances, what they are doing with Dread, that's what you would imagine that a third party would do, and that's why you would want the production company to take it in-house.
I know.
But here is the owner of the brand that's on the fundamentally wrong track from the get-go.
I know. And
until
it's so strange.
Yeah, and until he realizes that he's trying to make the spin-off series before the main series, it's not going to freaking work, because that's what he's doing. He's starting with the spin-off that needed to come after the proper main Dread series.
Yeah. It's pretty bloody odd, to be fair. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, I've met the guy. It's not someone that you can't question. You cannot question the guy. And, fair play to him, because he's got to the stage where he is now, where for a reason, through very good decisions, very keen eye for things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Incredibly wealthy individual, but still, that doesn't necessarily mean he fully understands and appreciates what the fans would want at all times. And, fans don't want to watch a series. Yes, fans of the comic will want to watch a series about the Mega City 1, because Mega City 1 is massively interesting, like fucking hugely interesting. Anyone who's read the comics, you've read the comics, you'll know it's massively interesting. There is a lot of very interesting things that go on in Mega City 1. The fatties, for instance, hugely funny, like hilarious, but still very, very interesting.
The intricacies very
exactly.
Yeah.
There's so much in there that is great, but people don't know about it because they're not fans, because the fan base of the comic is very, very small. So you don't facilitate just the fans of the comic. You facilitate a wider audience to give the fans of the comic something that they enjoy within the facilitation of the wider audience. I.e., you give them Judge Dredd, the wider audience, and then you give them Mega City 1 through the lens of Judge Dredd for the fans of the comic. That's how you do it. And he just doesn't seem to get that. It's so strange. It literally doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. I'm reminded of when we spoke at Midnight's Edge with Fredrik Malmberg, the owner of the Robert E. Howard and Conan estate.
He seemed to get it.
He was very clear about the reason most people have heard about Conan today, unless you grew up in the 80s, 90s and knew of it before. Anyone he's the revival of the Conan brand. That's all him. He's the one who did that, all of it. And he's very clear that, no, we have to get Conan to work. Now they're trying on Netflix because they have so many other things. They have Solomon Kane, they have Cull, they have all these stuff. But he's clear that it has to be seen through the lens of Conan. Like, you can't do a Cull series first and think that that's going to work. No, you have to do Conan first, and then you do Cull as the spin-off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas what Kingsley appears to be doing is doing it the completely opposite ways, doing the spin-off, thinking that people are going to be excited about a Judge Dredd series not starring Dredd. Basically, he's trying to make Gotham without there being a Batman.
Yeah.
Literally exactly that. He's making a Gotham series when he should be making a Judge Dredd series.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Yeah. I completely see the point. The thing is that you're right. The thing is that, Judge Dredd, as fantastic a character as it is, and as clearly liked in at least these circles that he is, doesn't have broad appeal, So you cannot do what Kingsley is trying to do by circumventing that character. You just can't. You have to appeal to the broader audience. However small that broader audience is, with Dredd first. It's not the same as Gotham, where you can introduce all the sideline characters and then have Batman sort of float in towards the end. Like, you can't even do that. You can't even do a Gotham. You just can't. Like, it's not such nonsense. Such a shame as well, because Yeah, it could have been good, but I mean, I obviously I know a lot more that I can't really say. I don't know. I read the original pilot script, for instance, right, which didn't have America Jara in at all. This is the original pilot script, which was about to get greenlit before all of the issues with Mark Stern, I believe the guy's name was, who was at IM Global, which was their sort of producing partner. Before some very strange situation happened between them, and that pilot script was great. It honestly, again, I can't say too much. I don't know who's got the rights to that anymore. Probably not Kingsley, or probably roped up in legal battle somewhere along the line. But that pilot script was great. There was no America Jara. Was there a Judge Dredd? Yeah, not as much as you would want though. But did it open with a massive fucking cataclysmic event that would have got people's, panties frothing? Yeah. And that would have hit the ground running. People would have been like, oh my God, yes. But this sort of, heavy focus on this one individual, again, not a bad individual, not a bad character, but would it put people off because, the wider appeal of Judge Dredd is the only appeal of Judge Dredd? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I agree. It's like if Judge Dredd is too niche a character, then you don't fix that by doing Mega City 1, which is as 1,000 times as niche.
Yeah. Oh, coffee is for closers. Says, just in the news, Richard Donner has passed. He birthed the modern comic book movie with Superman, as well as the buddy movie with Lethal Weapon. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it. I don't want to address it too much because obviously I don't do streams or things like that or videos on people passing because I don't want to profit in any way, shape, or form from tragedy like that. That's just people can do what they want. I just don't personally agree with it, so I don't want to address it too much. But yes, now we've had a super chat on it, 100% massively sad. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Andre.
Yeah, no, he's a huge loss. He was hugely important to the development of the film medium in general and to comic book movies in general. He has made so many classics, and he lived to a ripe old age. So the beauty is that he was active for his entire career. We got every movie we could have gotten from him, and the world is better for it. So yes, may he rest in peace, and we have his work to cherish forever.
Well, we will, won't we? We've got it now, so that's good. I mean, he will live on in that regard, so that's good. Going back to Conan and stuff like that, how do you think that's going to happen with Netflix now? Because we've not heard anything about that for a long time.
They're in the process of writing it.
Still only writing though.
Yeah, because now they have a showrunner, and they've only had the showrunner. They haven't announced. I know that there is a showrunner. That showrunner is very active in writing it. So new episodes are being written the whole time. So it is progressing behind the scenes. And I do not know when we're going to get the next information dump, such as who the showrunner is. That I honestly don't know.
I wonder if any of this will be hinged on Conan, He-Man doing well with respect to kind of the sword and sorcery vibe, and that sort of trend taking off again.
I hope not. It would really suck if Netflix decides that, no, He-Man didn't really work out for us. Can't rule out that's not going to happen. I mean, nothing is certain until cameras are rolling and it's still being written. That means that Netflix, they can, in principle, pull the rug out at any time, just like Amazon did. Boy, did we dodge a bullet on that one in retrospect.
Jesus. Pete Dan says, it's possible that the Mega City 1 show could be a prequel to the Dredd film. No, 100% not. They don't have... they'd have to buy the rights to Dredd. They don't have the rights to Dredd. It is not a prequel. I can say that with certainty. It's not a prequel. It's not a sequel. The aim was for it to never be connected to Dredd. They were happy for some of the aesthetics to cross over, that people would question it, but they would never have said either way. But they had said in an interview that it was never going to be a sequel. Basically, that's what they confirmed to me in an interview that is here on this channel. But they were more than happy for it to appear and be ambiguous, you know, have some aesthetical crossover, and they'd even spoken to Carl Urban about coming back. So they were happy to have him come back and be Dredd again, but not the Dredd that you knew from Dredd. But it's not a prequel, or it wasn't at that time anyway.
Yeah, the comparison would kind of be like Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage, and Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance also with Nicolas Cage. But these are two unconnected movies. One is not a sequel to the other.
Really?
Yeah, really. Spirit of Vengeance is a reboot, different origin story.
Oh, I haven't even watched it. So
yeah, you didn't really miss out. Like visually, it's far better, but none of them are good movies. But no, that's interesting. They are two completely unconnected movies. Reboot of each other.
Yeah, that's a good
they just both happen to star Nicolas Cage, but that's it. It's a completely different origin and everything.
Dan chimes into the Conan conversation, says Conan has almost no chance to be good. It's one of those roles that can't be played by anyone else.
I disagree.
Andre,
I disagree completely. Here's like the thing, that Conan had been chugging along quite nicely for 50 years before the movie. Conan was first a huge hit in the pulp magazines of the 1930s. Then Conan was a huge hit in the paperback market from the 1950s up until the 80s. Then Conan was a huge hit in the comic book scene from 1970 up until modern day, more or less uninterrupted. And then in 1982 came the movie Conan the Barbarian, with Arnold Schwarzenegger being almost nothing like the Conan that had been a huge hit for 50 years by that point already. Here's the thing, that the way to do Conan right and have someone else play him is actually stay true to the source material, which is something the Arnold Conan, for all of its merits, wasn't. It's just a matter of people saw him first and they fell in love with Arnold. But what they see is Arnold and not Conan. So the way to do it is basically go back to the source material and then do it completely right. And just like people at one point thought that no one can be a better Superman than Kirk Allen, and then they thought no one can be a better Superman than Chris Reeves, and then Christopher Reeve later on. Basically, you're at that stage with Conan. Most people, they identify it with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's a false comparison, because anyone who's familiar with the source material will be very happy to say that no, plenty others can do this role. It just really, really sucks that all the movies that haven't had him, and even the one that did, have been awful movies. But with the right actor, you absolutely can replace Arnold as Conan easily.
Yeah, Dan follows up, says not a single person under 50 can imagine anyone but Arnold as Conan. So like I agree. To sort of add to Andre's comments, I think, people who had obviously, familiar with the source material, what Andre's saying is completely true. But I do agree with Dan. There is an association absolutely with respect to
there is, Arnold. And that's a problem.
Yeah. But the thing is, it's the same kind of situation as say Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
Yes, exactly that.
Difficult to say it, but he's not actually, like he's not short enough to be Wolverine. Like there's people who are familiar with the source material will go, yeah, he's a good Wolverine, but he's not actually the Wolverine.
All the differences here are much greater than that.
No, yeah, exactly. That's the sort of most.
But yes, that's a good comparison.
I'm sure there's others, to be fair. But that was just the quickest one that I could.
Very good one, absolutely. So kudos. And no, it's not just people over the age of 50. It's people in their in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, hell, even people in their teens, anyone that has been exposed to some other kind of source material, whether that be the comics or even the games, will get a better impression of who Conan, because I've had many people that discovered Conan through, for instance, the video games, and then they get a fairly good impression, and then they see the movie and they wonder, what the hell is this? That's not Conan.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
so
true.
it's a matter of what were you subjected to first. So I would actually say that no, it's the people in their 40s and their 50s, for the most part, that were exposed to Arnold first, that are the ones that have the mentality that only Arnold can be Conan, because that's what I saw first.
Just real quick, Muller Webb has jumped on and says, "Hi mate, just dropped in late. What is the running time for Broken Lights?" It's a 10-minute film with an hour plus. I believe the documentary is just over an hour. With respect to the Blu-rays, you're always purchasing for the movie of the movie, basically. I presume that's why you're referencing that, because you probably got the email. If anyone else got the email as well, just if anyone isn't aware, the runtime would be, I'd have to double check, but it's about 10 minutes long. But then there's an hour-long documentary. If anyone's watched the documentary on Black Fields, this documentary for Breaking Lights, 10 times better. And that's not to diminish Black Fields documentary. I really like that documentary. I think it's a great documentary. Breaking Lights is a much better documentary. A much, much better documentary. So if you liked the documentary for Black Fields, you will love the documentary for Breaking Lights. So please don't sleep on it. Do go and buy it, because I've said it before about other things. When they're gone, they are actually gone. I've given everyone access who purchased Black Fields first. They have first access to Breaking Lights. Please, please, please don't sleep, because when they're gone, they are gone, and you may miss out. And I would not want anyone to miss out. And I thought I would give everyone who's already purchased something first access, because they know exactly what they're getting into then. That was the sort of aim. And it's also a Blu-ray exclusive. I'm not releasing Breaking Lights on the channel. It is, like most other films, you have to pay for it, sadly.
It's also very, very good. So it's absolutely.
Oh yeah, you saw it, didn't you? Yeah, you have seen it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I have seen it.
Yeah.
Great acting in it.
We haven't seen, I need to, I don't know if I can send you the, I don't know if I can send you the documentary. It might be too big. Maybe I can send it by a Google Drive link, but you'll love the documentary. The documentary is amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so good.
Yeah, or Dropbox or something like that.
Yeah, I'll have a look and see, because I need to find it first. Because I get access to these things, and then I sort of approve, and because I'm a producer on them all, so I approve, change, etc., etc. So I don't know what version I've got sat on my computer at the moment. Muller Webb has just followed up and says, "You said in a previous video you're not making any more films, or is it a case of no more this year?" The idea was not at all, basically. I wasn't going to make any more at all, but I am sitting down for a business meeting with my production manager, the guy who works for me. I say my production manager. It sounds like someone that manages me. It's not the case. My production manager who works for me. Sitting down for a business meeting with him, because there is a way that I can make this viable. And the idea was, and you guys can chime in here, and you can chime in here as well, Andre. The thought process is, I come up with this idea was that if I can get an interesting story, right? If I get an interesting story, an interesting narrative, one which is, I'm motivated to do, and I write something very I think is interesting anyway. And I do that across 10 episodes. So it's 10-minute episodes, right? Like a mini web series, but they don't get released on the web. Basically, it'd be a case of, here's a Kickstarter. We'll shoot one episode just as is, maybe, or at least a proof of concept anyway, to get people interested. People who have already bought other Blu-rays may be interested anyway. But we do a Kickstarter and we go, right, we buy the Blu-ray for the season. So it'll be season 1 of whatever this story is, which is the 10-minute, 10 episodes. Or, 10 episodes of 10-minute, 10 episodes, yeah. And that's a way to do it, because you go, right, well, actually, we need to hit this much on the Kickstarter. We factor this into the budget here. We factor this into this. And then we go, right, this is all profit here. Because you have to make money. You can't work on nothing, so you have to make some. So that's the idea, basically. But we need to sit down and discuss it properly. But that's an idea. So it'd basically be seasons. So it'd be like season 1 of this story or season 2 of this story, and they'll be available via Blu-ray on a Kickstarter project. So you'll only be able to buy them on the Kickstarter. So, well, what do you think of that, Andre? That's a rough plan.
As long as the audience is there and they're willing to support it, fantastic plan. Because it's basically what I think there's going to be much more of, which is basically Comicsgate, where without any other comparison, but basically that you go direct to consumer and you market your content direct to consumers, and then of course you have to have an audience that are willing to support everything you do, and enough of them that not only does it cover production, but as you say, it has to be profitable. Because like the thing, rent and stuff like that doesn't pay for itself. And if one does something like that, you do it full time. So basically that's what's going to have to pay for the mortgage, pay for all of life's expenses. And if it can't do that, well, then it's simply not viable. So if one is able to do that, go for it.
Well, it's not even that. Like Blackfield's cost me money. So like I don't mind. The thing is, it can't cost me money. I just have to not cost money, basically. But we'll see. And John Davies chimes in actually and asks an interesting question. Says, "Will the idea be a sci-fi movie split into parts?" I seem to recall you saying it had scope to progress. The thing is with that would be too expensive, because the idea is you'd have to keep the budget quite low. Like Blackfield's budget, it was too big. Like it was too broad. Like tried to do too much. Basically, it was a baptism of fire. Tried to do too much. Budget was too big, and you always were going to struggle to do anything with that. So the idea is with this is be quite smart about the writing, and keep the budget in line, so that you would basically factor all of that in, and the sci-fi one would be way too much, because you'd have to rent out a space to do it, and that you wouldn't be able to do that. So no, probably not the sci-fi one, unless I build a set in my garden, which is probably not going to happen. So yeah, we'll see, but that's the rough idea. But that's about it, to be fair. Here we go. Whatever happened to King Conan with Arnie? There you go. You can answer this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely all for you.
And you have you can also have the definitive answer if you check out Midnight's Edge in our interview with Fredrik Malmberg, the owner of the Conan estate, where he breaks down it in detail. But the very short version of it is that Universal were the ones that killed it. Universal had the rights for it. They were developing The Legend of Conan, which was the latest iteration of the King Conan movie at the time when Schwarzenegger actually wanted to do it. There were other people that wanted to do it the decade before, but then he didn't want to. Then he was the holdout. Now, since his comeback, he's the one that wants to do it. But he can't do it on his own. He needs two things. One, he needs the rights, and they weren't the problem. And then he needs a studio that's willing to pay for the whole shebang. And he found that in Universal. But here's the problem. What happened there was that there was a change of management at the same time as Terminator Sega Genesis flopped. And then the new producers in charge of Universal, who have an interest in killing the previous people's projects anyway, then they took a look at the numbers of Terminator Sega Genesis, and they decided, that this Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan revival thing, let's not do that. So then they killed it. I do happen to know for a fact, though, that Fredrik Malmberg is very open to working with Schwarzenegger in the Conan Netflix series in some capacity. So the only way for Arnold Schwarzenegger to ever return to Conan right now is actually that way.
Well, yeah, because he's got it all, isn't he? So
yeah,
it's a shame. Well, it's a shame, maybe sort of a shame, but also sort of not. Because if you're a fan of Conan in general, would you want that to continue if it's not the Conan? I mean, what do you think of that?
Well, actually, I think that there's a way to do it. Like, for instance, if you say that you find an actor that kind of looks like him for young Conan, and then you have Arnold Schwarzenegger and with gray hair and gray beard and everything like that, and he plays old Conan, and that way you can do like a story of the old days of Conan. It's kind of consistent with both the series and at the same time with the original movie by not referencing it in too much detail. That way you could actually do like a bookend that is consistent with both, so that's in your own head canon. You can try to pretend that this thing right here is the conclusion to the movie that I love, even though it actually wouldn't be. But that's one way you could actually do it.
Yeah, true. Just real quick, Master Behemoth drops in and says, Mr. H, what is your thoughts on Master of the Universe Revelations, and are you going to watch it? I'm going to watch it. My thoughts on the second trailer, I've done a video on it. It's not a good trailer. Just objectively, it's not a good trailer. It didn't get me very hyped. We spoke about it earlier on in the stream. But yeah, it's not a good trailer, basically. But we'll just have to wait and see whether it is actually any good or not. I hold out some hope for it. I do, but it's Kevin Smith. So just like I've been saying, he could Kevin Smith it. It is what it is. We shall see.
And I'll be watching every single episode and reviewing all of them, biting my fingernails throughout. And
also, it releases soon, doesn't it? It's quite soon.
I think it's like in 2 weeks or something.
Fuck. And they'll release it all as well. That'll be it. All in one go.
Yeah.
Because they have...
No, and 2 goes, actually. It's like they're divided in 2. So it's like
part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, so we won't be able to relax until part 2 is out.
Mr. H. Andre Jasper's upstairs at the moment, asleep. What kind of film would you like to see Arnie make next? I'd like to see him do another film like Maggie. Have you seen Maggie?
I skimmed through it.
It's a good film. Skimmed through it. You fucker. Why did you skim through it?
It didn't catch my interest.
It's a good film. Unbelievable. I would like to see him do another film like Maggie, to be fair. What kind of film would you like to see him do? Obviously not another one like Maggie.
Something completely original. I would like him to do something like more like feel good, some kind of like action comedy or something like that. He doesn't
necessarily... He does them all the time, though.
Well, not for a while, and certainly not any good.
Yeah,
right, a good one.
True. Yeah, all right, fine. But
some kind of movie that Guy Ritchie could have made.
I don't think he'd be good in something. If you cast Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Guy Ritchie movie, I don't think he'd be any good in that. I don't think he's got the acting chops to pull it off.
Well, again, it has to be tailored for him and relatively light on action that he's the one doing. But yeah, no, something cheerful for a change. Something Maggie most certainly was not.
Yeah. Have you seen The Gentleman? Guy Ritchie film The Gentleman?
Not yet. No.
Mate, you must watch that this week. You want a good film? Watch The Gentleman.
Yeah,
it is one of Guy Ritchie's best films.
I do have it on 4K right here on my shelf. I just haven't seen it yet.
So fucking good. Honestly, it's so fantastic. That film is excellent. I cannot give that film a better glowing review. Like, it's so good.
I've heard really good things. So yeah, I'll check it out before long here, because I do have it.
Such a good film. Joseph says, what are mine and your thoughts on the Expendables movies? I don't really like them, to be fair. I think they're too cameo central. I'm not a massive fan of them.
I love the second one. Like, the first one was okay, but it was ultimately disappointing. The third one I've already forgotten, but the second one was really cool. I like that one. I had a good time watching that.
Who was in that one?
That was the one where Schwarzenegger actually had a really big role next to Stallone, and I think it was Van Damme who was the villain, simply called Villain. So yeah.
My god! villain.
I think that was, maybe I'm confusing with the third, but I think it was, and also Chuck Norris showed up for a bit in it. But anyway, I don't recall the details, but I remember I had a good and fun time watching that movie. Something I didn't really have with the first one, and the third I've forgotten. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't care for them. You know, I don't hate them, but I just don't care for them at all. It is what it is. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. Expendables are refined and commercial. All the adverts compressed together. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Spooky Mulder said.
Yeah, the trailers are kind of like highlight reels of those movies, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and Muller-Webb says Hugh Jackman would have made a good Conan, but is probably too old to be interested in working out for that role. What do you think of that? Hugh Jackman as Conan? I don't see it. I don't think he'd be big enough, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I don't really see it either. He'd be a really good Solomon Kane.
Yeah.
I'd accept him as Solomon Kane any day, even at his current age, as an older Solomon Kane. He'd be freaking fantastic for that. So no, I wouldn't want him as Conan, but for Solomon Kane, oh hell, he'd be dream casting.
Yeah. Un momento.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, I saw someone else suggest Callum Van Moker as Conan. I'd be very okay with that.
Really? He can't act, though.
Well, it's not a role that requires any kind of like Oscar stuff. You just have to be like really gruff and ideally be able to say more than Arnold Schwarzenegger did. But the beauty, if you cast him, it's going to make it really, really easy to have Arnold Schwarzenegger bookend something later on and have it so that that bookend can be canon both to the series and in your own head canon to the earlier Schwarzenegger movies.
Yeah.
You could do that with Callum Van Moker.
Sander says Dave Bautista for Conan. No.
Hell no. No. He'd be freaking awful.
Yeah, I don't see that one. The principal officer says, I never got an email about breaking lights. It's people who bought Black Fields. So it's not certain people, but it's people who bought Black Fields got the email, basically. If you didn't get it, check your junk inbox. But if you didn't buy Black Fields, then you wouldn't have got the email. It's just giving people first dibs on the limited release, that's all. If they all go, obviously they all go. But if they don't, then I'll open it up to everyone else, and then I will announce it. It will be divvied out to members next. Anyway, there'll be another password dropped out. I'll give it out to members, and then they'll have dibs on what's left, and then so on and so forth until it's when they're gone, basically. But that's sort of how I was going to do it. Al Humphrey says Hugh Jackman is too lean and charismatic for that role. The role of Conan, I'd imagine, is what he's saying. Yeah, I don't like him.
He's too lean. That he absolutely is.
Yeah, I don't like him as Conan. I don't think he's big enough anyway. Paul Whitaker says, thinking how 80s Maniac Cop might look based on current feelings towards state and smartphone generation. Shocked to find out that NWR's apparently attached to it. Love your thoughts, dear sirs. Thoughts?
Who's NWR again?
Guy who did Drive.
Nicholas, yes, I know. Nicholas Winding Refn.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Danish guy is, in my point of view, really pretentious filmmaker.
I think he's amazing. It's amazing. Drive's an amazing film. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that one is amazing, but I still think that much of what he does is
there is a pretentious lens through it. Like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But they are still good films. Although Only God Forgives is
that's what I mean. To me, that's a pretentious movie.
Yeah, I can see that. that.
Him doing Maniac Cop, it's going to be interesting if nothing else.
Yeah, that's my go-to with things. I'd be interested.
It's going to be
that's why I don't really want to give an opinion. It'll be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
Just real quick, Mr. H, absolutely love the gentleman. Colin Farrell stole the movie from everybody. That he did. But Andre, I'm aware you need to go because it is literally midnight where you are now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So I have to be off. I just want to answer the question one here real quick first. It was Joseph LaMonica wonders, do you think a young Lou Ferrigno could have pulled off Conan? And the answer to that is no. Hell no, because it's not enough that that you have to.
It's not just the
size. The guy has to. It's not just that the guy playing Conan has to be someone that the ladies swoon over. You know, one of the big reasons why Jason Momoa got the role. That's when this is something that that even the heads of Millennium, the production company, wanted another actor. They wanted the guy from Twilight, Kellen Lutz. He was their preferred candidate for Conan, whereas the director of the movie, he had his sights set on Momoa. So there was a conflict there. The producer paying the bill wanted Kellen Lutz. The director and Fredrik Malmberg, given the choice, also wanted Momoa. And what it ultimately came down to, because they had to convince the guy actually paying the bills, what it came down to was that he noticed, not so much on the audition, but when the guys came into the office and Kellen Lutz came in, like the secretary and the ladies there bringing coffee and taking notes and stuff, Kellen Lutz came in, didn't care. Jason Momoa came in, they were like following him with their eyes, really swooning. And he was like, okay, fine, I admit that guy, he's Conan. Lou Ferrigno has never in any universe been anyone that the ladies are swooning over. And to some extent, neither have Arnold Schwarzenegger, only much more so than Lou Ferrigno. I mean, he's was a ladies' man in his younger days. And Conan, he is a ladies' man of the highest freaking order. And you have to have someone that's believable as that. That's why they got Jason Momoa, big reason. And whoever they get next needs to be able to do that as well. And that was never a young Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, I can see that.
And with that, I do have to drop off. But Mr. H, it was a pleasure to stream with you again. And to anyone that for some reason thought there was beef between us, I don't know why you would think that. But no, I love coming here, Mr. H. Our door is always open to you. So anytime you have the time to come in and join us. And again, I look forward to having a beer with you and breaking bread when it's possible to travel again.
Yeah, soon, hopefully this year we shall see.
Yeah, I look forward to that beer. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
All right, dude. Well, good to have you on. Catch you again soon.
Likewise, excellent. Take care.
Peace out, dude.
Bye.
So we got 2 more super chats just dropped in. Al Humphrey says, "Here's a tenner for whatever you like, Mr. H." Well, thank you so much, dude. I did actually read your email on the Production H Films email account, because obviously I've got access to that. I read emails. I did read it. I didn't have a chance to reply. Kind. Thank you. Kieran says, "Hey H, I never saw Jason and Conan. Was he actually any good?" A lot of people's thoughts are it needed a better script, and I would concur with that. Like, I would like to have seen him with a better script to make a proper judgment. I think that's fair. I do think that's a fair approach to have. Like, it's difficult, it is difficult to say, really. But yeah, like, I think that's the sort of best approach. Someone asked, how long will the Blu-ray be available to people who purchase Blackfields for? Can't get mine till the 7th. Well, basically, it's not time bound. It's quantity bound. So I can't say, but if you go through on the 7th and you try and order, and you can, then it's available. I would say, looking at the projections, it will be available at the 7th. I would imagine so. Looking at projections of orders and sales and things, I would imagine it will be available on the 7th. I can't say for certainty, because something weird might happen and loads of people might just drop in, but it's all to do with quantity, not time. Okay. when I say limited, it's the same with I did these Black Knight figures, didn't I? And I said there's only 10 available. I announced it on a stream, and they're all gone on the stream. Boom, done. All gone on one stream. And I didn't even announce over on Twitter, and then no one could get them. They were done. So there's some people actually missed out, which is unfortunate, but you have to be a man of your word. And if I say it's only 10, there is only 10. Which, side note, ladies and gents, who ordered those Black Knight figures, they are going to be sent out soon. I tweeted out a picture of a whole bunch of Black Knight figures painted. They are in the process, but the artist Tiffany sadly, tragically, had a death that she had to deal with. Not good, not ideal, obviously, but we're all nice people here. There's a certain amount of understanding. I'm sure we can understand that production will be delayed as a result of that. She was massively apologetic to me, and I'm like, don't be sorry. Like, that you don't need to be sorry. Everyone, I'm sure, will understand. So just as a heads up, they were supposed to go out on the 1st of July. They're not going to, obviously, but the images there, they have been made. They are being made. There's just productions delayed by like another 2 weeks. So they will go out. Promise. 100% promise. But yeah, not good. Not good. It's bloody tragedies all round, isn't it, these days? Tragedies all round. But yeah, she's a tough cookie, is Tiffany. So she'll be all right, I'm sure. But obviously all the well wishes and things like that would be, I'm sure, more than appreciated as well. Everyone likes to know someone's there for them, don't they? So that's always nice. But just as a heads up, because I know people here actually bought it. I know there's people here on the stream bought one. I just want to let you all know they are on the way. I know we've gone past the Aliens subject, but have either of you seen the new trailer for the Aliens Fire Team? Well, Andre's gone now, so just me. I haven't. I saw one trailer. I don't know if that was the newer one though. So I'm not sure. I watched one where there was like a weird white monster that wasn't an alien but was an alien. In it, I don't know if I've watched one of the brand new ones. I've watched some of the footage, and it's like engineered temples and things like that, which is quite cool. I doubt we'll get much of an explanation. Whether it's canon or not is up to you as well. So we'll have to see. Mr. H, no rush on delivery. There are far more important things in life. Send my love to Tiffany and her family. I will. 100%. Again, the well wishes are always appreciated. Yeah, it comes when it comes. Real life comes first. So Tiffany's okay, as can be, obviously. Yeah, I mean, she is back to work. That's because I didn't even know basically until after the fact. She got in contact afterwards and was like, "No, I'm back to work now." I was like, "What?" She's like, "I've been off. I've had to deal with this." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay." So she's back to work. She's back to doing it all. So she's as good as she can be. Basically, she's keeping busy, and that's good. I think that's productive. Condolences to Tiffany. Can't hold circumstances of life against anyone. I messaged her on Instagram saying, "Glad I bought one." And she replied, "Yeah, she's lovely. She does reply. She's good. She's good when it comes to like her business is fantastic. Like what she makes, all of these things, amazing. Like absolutely cannot fault it. I'm more surprised that she doesn't. I am more surprised. I am surprised more at the fact she doesn't have more followers and customers, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. A weird bloody word in there, isn't it? Terrible. Mr. H, who would win in a fight, the Black Knight from Blackfield or Judge Death from Dread? Well, the Black Knight's technically a forest demon, so probably the Black Knight, I guess. You can't kill a demon. The demon's already dead. It reanimates a corpse. You could probably kill its body. In fact, actually, if you want to break it down, they're both quite similar because Judge Death is a spirit that inhabits corpses as well, has a corporeal form, and the Black Knight inhabits corpses as well, has a corporeal form. I think they'd be fairly evenly matched, actually. Oddly enough, I didn't. That's not. It's funny though because now you come to think of it, obviously I read 2000 AD growing up. But I never, when I thought up the Black Knight, I never thought the Judge Death was an inspiration, but they're fairly similar actually. Will you be checking and reviewing Werewolves Within, Mr. H? It's been getting some pretty good feedback. Sam Richardson from The Tomorrow War also in it. What's that on? I'll have a look. I don't know what that's on, but yeah, mate, I'm happy to. Why not? I haven't seen anything for it though. Is there a trailer or anything like that? No, I never said there'd be a comic. No, I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe not. No plans. Put it that way. No plans. I don't have anyone that would be able to do it. To be fair. Gotta go streamline my CD collection. Cheers, everyone. Stay sane. Thanks for the stream as always, Mr. H reviews. Good to see Andre again. Yeah, it's good to have him on. Again, 100%. Always good to have Andre here on the channel. I would like a good old-fashioned horror movie. Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all love a good old-fashioned horror movie? Wouldn't we all? Do more Gundam videos. I've never done any Gundam videos. I think you have me mistaken for someone else. I've never done any Gundam videos. Any at all. Who do you think you're watching? I've literally never done any Gundam videos. I did one video stream on the Gundam. It was a movie, wasn't it? I think a movie being made. But that was it. I've never done anything else. I'm very confused. Would you consider getting Alien Fireteam for playing on the channel? And the newest trailer looks good. Not keen on some of the reused alien designs from Colonial Marines, but it looks like fun. Yeah, they definitely reused it. Some of them anyway. No, it's not my kind of game. It would be unfair for me to review it and play it because I would be biased for negativity because it's not my kind of game. I love alien games, but that's not my kind of alien game. Like it's just not. It's I don't like the group playing. I don't like any of that. It's not. I can't play games with loads of other people. I don't. Yeah, that's just not for me. And I think because I don't like that kind of stuff, it would be a bit. It would be biasly negative. So it seems a bit redundant me getting it to check out. If it was single player, I'd get it immediately. I love single player games. I just don't like playing games with other people. I'm just antisocial when it comes to playing games. I don't like playing games at the best of times, right? I like playing games for the channel because it's fun. But I'm not like a gamer. I like getting into a game for the channel, having fun with it, seeing the feedback and seeing people enjoy it. But I don't play games for me very often. And that game, definitely not for me. So no. I hope that explains it. I hope I've explained it enough anyway. There needs to be a Predator Concrete Jungle remake or remaster. Seriously underrated game with a great story that would make a great film. Agreed. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Predator Concrete Jungle is great. Really, really, really good. Have I seen Ted Lasso? My lad keeps nagging me to watch it. I've never even heard of that. What the fuck is that? What is that? Never heard of it. Odd. Odd. Oh, I don't need to have this in anymore. Perfect. Cool. Bloody headphone in. I want to see Mr. H do a game stream playing Hardcore Pac-Man. Yeah. Hardcore Pac-Man. Nah. I don't think anyone would enjoy that either, to be fair. Not good. Nicht good. Or nicht good. Right. Ladies and gents, I think this will be me done because I need to step late tomorrow to do that stream as well. we will be doing the members stream on Wednesday. All right, ladies and gents, Wednesday. Because I'm doing like 3 streams in a row, basically. Because I've got to collaborate with that person tomorrow night. Lorena Creole. Again, I'm going to tweet it out. There'll be in a community tab tomorrow. Check it out, please. Be good to have some of my guys come over there as well, join that stream, show my support in the her fan base and stuff like that. That'd be good fun. It'd be nice anyway. And then we will do the members only stream after the normal stream on Wednesday. So we'll have a normal stream on Wednesday. All right. And then, normal stream on Friday as always, I guess. So, ladies and gents, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the stream. A little bit different. Cheers. Take care.